The courtroom is frozen. Every eye is locked on Julian Sterling. The gallery exhales as if it had been holding its breath for minutes. Judge Caprio slowly removes his glasses, letting the silence stretch, a weight that presses down on the defendant like gravity itself. "Mr. Sterling," he says, his voice low but cutting through the tension like steel. "That man is 67 years old. He is a decorated veteran who fought for this country. You are 36, 6 feet 1, 200 pounds. You saw him turn away. You saw him try to de-escalate. And yet, you shoved him with enough force to knock him unconscious against a bar stool. That is not mutual combat. That is assault. That is a deliberate, violent attack. And the badge you carried, the family name you thought would shield you, it protects you from nothing here." Julian shifts in his seat, trying to maintain a casual composure, but the color has drained from his face. He opens his mouth, searching for words, but none come that could undo what everyone just witnessed. Judge Caprio leans forward, resting his hands on the bench. "Harold Kim, please rise again." The veteran slowly stands, his body trembling, his face a map of pain and courage. The courtroom instinctively rises with him, a collective gesture of respect. "Mr. Kim," Caprio continues, "you have served your country. You have endured unimaginable hardships. And yet, here you are, assaulted simply for existing in a space you had every right to be in. You have the patience and dignity of a man far greater than the one who attacked you." The judge turns sharply to Julian. "Mr. Sterling, do you have anything to say to Mr. Kim? Anything at all?" Julian opens his mouth, then closes it again. The arrogance he wore like armor has crumbled. The silence is absolute. Judge Caprio signals the clerk. "Prepare to present the charges in full. Assault on a person over 60, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest with violence. And Mr. Sterling, I will remind you that in this courtroom, excuses carry no weight, intimidation carries no weight, and your father's legacy carries no weight. Accountability is the only weight that matters here." The bales of the courtroom shift. The air hums with anticipation, but not for Julian, it's for justice. Caprio looks out over the gallery and over Harold Kim, ensuring everyone understands that the system still works when witnesses are brave, evidence is clear, and the law is applied without fear or favor. Julian Sterling finally swallows, his jaw tight, knowing in that silence that nothing, not a stolen badge, not a famous last name, not a lifetime of privilege, can undo what has been done. Judge Caprio's voice rises again, deliberate and measured. "Mr. Sterling, it is time for you to understand the consequences of your actions. This court will see that justice is done. The gavel waits. The sentence is coming. And the courtroom, still holding its breath, knows that the reckoning is inevitable." That's the final note of the Sterling case, a slow, methodical dismantling of entitlement, privilege, and arrogance. Julian learned that borrowed authority and inherited influence cannot shield you from the law, that actions carry consequences far beyond the moment, and that respect can never be bought or assumed, it must be earned. Harold Kim's quiet grace, the unwavering rule of law in Caprio's courtroom, and the cold efficiency of federal accountability all combined to deliver a lesson far deeper than any sentence. It wasn't a dramatic showdown, it was a surgical dismantling of a legacy built on entitlement, and as Judge Caprio continues to hear new cases, the story lingers in the minds of everyone who witnessed it. In this courtroom, there are no shortcuts, no borrowed shields, and no exceptions. Justice doesn't care about the badge you carry, the name you inherited, or the wealth you command. It only cares about the truth and the courage to face it. The Sterling case isn't just a story of punishment, it's a story of accountability, humility, and the slow, unstoppable power of justice to restore balance when arrogance thinks it's untouchable. The room goes utterly silent. Julian Sterling freezes, the reality hitting him like a punch harder than anything he delivered at McGinty's. Every attorney in the gallery pales. The swagger is gone. The smugness that carried him through every privileged moment of his life evaporates instantly. Judge Caprio leans forward, voice low but unyielding. "Mr. Sterling, you have just admitted to possessing federal property that does not belong to you. You attempted to use it to influence a judicial proceeding. That is not professional courtesy. That is theft and obstruction of justice." Julian stammers, I didn't. I mean, it's my father's badge." Caprio cuts him off with a sharp gesture. "It is now your property by virtue of possession, and possession of stolen federal property is a federal offense. Your attempt to use it to manipulate this court compounds the seriousness of your actions. You may be 36 years old, but in this courtroom, no badge, no name, no connection protects you from accountability." The bailiff moves quickly, stepping behind Julian to secure his hands. Julian's lawyers erupt in protest, but Caprio raises a hand. "Silence. There is nothing you can argue that changes the facts. Your client assaulted a 67-year-old veteran. He resisted arrest with violence. And now, he has committed a federal violation. Officer Rodriguez nods solemnly from the back. Your Honor, when he showed me the badge, he threatened that I would face consequences if I processed him like any other citizen. Caprio looks at Julian with a piercing gaze that seems to strip away every pretense. Mr. Sterling, you thought this courtroom was a playground for the sons of the powerful. You thought a borrowed badge could make your crimes vanish. You were wrong. You are going to understand exactly what accountability looks like. He turns to the clerk. Clerk, please notify the U.S. Attorney's Office. Prepare the documentation for charges relating to theft of federal property and obstruction. Mr. Sterling, you will remain in custody until federal authorities arrive. Julian's face is pale. The room hums with tension. This isn't a bar fight anymore. This isn't a local misdemeanor. This is a full-scale collision of privilege, arrogance, and the law, and Julian Sterling just discovered that not even the long shadow of his father can protect him from justice. Judge Caprio sits back, the calm eye in a storm of stunned spectators and frantic lawyers. No badge. No name. No money. No influence. Here, we measure consequences by actions, not entitlement. The bailiff secures Julian as the courtroom buzzes with disbelief. Julian's world, his carefully constructed shield of influence, has shattered in the space of a single phone call. The lessons of McGinty's pub in this courtroom are crystal clear. Nothing can shield you from accountability when the law catches up.